Hi guys, and welcome back for another episode of this Tarantula YouTuber guide on my channel. And yeah, today we have side X, and yeah, we all know which one he's going to pick. Obviously it's a brachypelma. But yeah, get your popcorn, get your drinks, because this one could be quite long. We all know as soon as you start side X on a Balfouri, then you've lost him. You're gone. So yeah. So if you don't know him, then I don't know why, because you know me and he's my other half. So yeah. So Balfouri. Balfouri. we have plenty of Balfouris. We have a lot of Balfouris. We can say a lot because, yeah, he's known for his Balfouris. So yeah, I will let him get into his video and I will come back at the end.
Hi guys, my name is Sidex and this is the Invert Kingdom UK, and on my channel I cover my journey in the hobby and share my knowledge and experience with you guys via videos on tarantulas and other inverts. So the kind of videos you can expect on my channel are the likes of care and husbandry, rehousings, unboxings, enclosure builds, breeding videos. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, please do consider checking out some of my content, and if you enjoy it enough, then please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It is really appreciated. Now today I've been asked to talk to you guys about my absolute favourite tarantula, which is the Monocentropus Balfouri. So before we do that though, I want to say a massive thank you to Black Wolf Ebs for allowing me to take part in this and asking me to do this video, and for obviously putting this entire series together. If you haven't watched all the other episodes in this series so far, please make sure you do, guys. They are absolutely brilliant and there's been a lot of fantastic information. So make sure you do watch each and every one of the episodes. You will not regret it. So once again, a massive thank you to Black Wolf Ebs. Now, I believe before we get into talking about the Monocentropus Balfouri, there are a few questions that Ebs has for me to answer. So let's go on with those, shall we? So what got me into tarantulas was probably watching Tarantula Dan's YouTube channel. I was always into spiders and insects and bugs and that kind of thing growing up, and never being allowed to keep them, I kind of just turned to places like YouTube to watch other people keep them, and it was Tarantula Dan that I watched first and most. So when I then got the opportunity to get my own place and start keeping, it was watching all that content of Tarantula Dan's that made me actually take that step and start keeping, and feel comfortable that I would be able to do it well because of watching his content and learning from him on how to do it. So yeah, I'd say what really got me into keeping tarantulas would be Tarantula Dan and his YouTube channel. And now I'm in the hobby and have been in the hobby for about 4 years now, I believe. Well, to be honest, I didn't actually just get one first tarantula. My first order was from the spider shop and it contained 3 tarantulas. So I technically had 3 first tarantulas. Those species were my Lacidura parahybana, also known as the salmon pink bird eater, my Chromatopelma cyanopubescens, also known as the green bottle blue, and the Poecilotheria regalis, which is also known as the Indian ornamental. So those were my first 3 tarantulas that came in the same box, if that kind of counts. They were all juveniles and they all, like I say, came from the spider shop. So yeah, that's what my first 3 tarantulas were. So my top 3 places to buy from are going to be the spider shop, So Many Legs, and Portsmouth Tarantulas. I've shopped with all 3 of these numerous times. Always had a great experience with them all great people and always happy to help. So yeah, they are my favourite 3 to shop with and I couldn't recommend them enough. Well, my interesting fact about me is more of a weird fact about me, and that is that I'm actually allergic to tinsel. So yeah, that stuff that you put on Christmas trees, I'm actually allergic to it. If I touch it, my hands go all red and itchy, and yeah, I ain't about that. So I don't even actually touch fake Christmas trees either, because they're kind of pretty much the same thing. So yeah, when it comes around to Christmas, I do not decorate this Christmas tree, and I haven't done for many years, because you just ain't worth me. No. Even when I worked in retail, if I was made to put tinsel out on the shop floor, I would wear gloves, which I would get laughed at. And many people thought that I was actually scared of tinsel, so would actually try and chase me with it. I'm not scared of tinsel. I'm just allergic to tinsel. So yeah, kind of a weird thing to be allergic to, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's my strange, weird fact about me. So my chosen species is of course the Monocentropus Balfouri, which is commonly known as the Scotch Island blue baboon. I've chosen this species because of course it is my all-time favourite species of tarantula, and therefore one I thoroughly enjoy keeping. So the Monocentropus Balfouri was first described by Pocock in 1897 and is endemic to the beautiful arid landscapes of Scotch Island, which is located just off the coast of Yemen between the Gaddafi Channel and the Arabian Sea. The island is very remote and is home to a whole host of endemic animal and plant life, with more than a third of the island's plant life believed to be endemic and therefore found nowhere else on Earth. Scotch Island is really a remarkable place, and therefore a really fitting home for an equally remarkable species of tarantula in the Monocentropus balfouri. Monocentropus balfouri are an old world baboon species of tarantula, so they do not possess urticating setae like you would find in most New World tarantulas, but instead they are believed to possess a more potent venom. This venom can be delivered via a bite if the tarantula feels threatened. However, this species, like most tarantulas, will normally reserve their venom for prey items only, and will choose to defend themselves in other ways first. The tarantula will most likely first attempt to flee to safety. However, if this is not possible, it may utilise a strangulation of the chelicerae, making a hissing sound, and may even slap the ground to intimidate any potential threat. From my experience, Monocentropus balfouri are more skittish than defensive, meaning they are more likely to run and hide first rather than standing their ground. However, if they feel this is not possible, they will stand their ground and they will resort to the defensive nature that old world tarantulas are known for. This species is considered a slow growing species, however it's still faster growing than the likes of Brachypelma, Grammostola and Aphanopelma species. And when they reach adulthood, you can expect them to reach a 14 to 16 centimetre diagonal leg span. In terms of the lifespan of the Monocentropus balfouri, females can live anywhere between 10 and 14 years, and males considerably less, with a lifespan of around 3 to 4 years. This is a terrestrial species, however they are also obligate burrowers, so will often dig given the opportunity to do so. Monocentropus balfouri are also prolific webbers and will construct elaborate web systems above ground, which is one of the highlights of keeping them in a captive environment. Not only this, but Monocentropus balfouri are one of, if not the only species truly capable of living communally. While no solid proof has been found yet of them living this way in the wild, it is clear that this is a species that has adapted to communal living in captivity in a way few, and arguably no other species has. Another fantastic trait of this species is how good females seem to be when it comes to motherhood. In most cases, when breeding tarantulas in captivity, it is far safer to pull the egg sac away from the female before it hatches due to the risk of cannibalism. However, this is not usually the case with Monocentropus balfouri, as not only is it usually safe to leave the egg sac with the female full term, but it usually is the case that the offspring actually thrive in the care of their mother, who will actively care for her young, unlike many other species. I can't help but wonder if this could be a key to understanding why this species is so successful in communal setups. So, how should we set up Monocentropus balfouri? Well, Monocentropus balfouri come from an arid landscape where conditions are harsh, with daytime temperatures regularly reaching anywhere between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius, and seeing very little rainfall. So while we are not going to be able to replicate these conditions exactly in captivity, it is important that their enclosures allow them to perform natural behaviours. So regardless of whether you're keeping them singularly or in a communal, the key elements are the same. The enclosure should allow for enough substrate to give this species the opportunity to burrow, as they would naturally do this to escape the daytime heat. This does not need to be the same depth you would give a truly fossorial species, however it should be enough to allow your Balfouri to burrow if it desires. I have in the past used excavator clay to construct ready-made burrows in the enclosure. While this is a great option, it isn't necessary, as long as your substrate holds its shape and allows for the tarantula to burrow. I find tortoise-life substrate can be a good alternative option. So we've also established that this species is a prolific webber and likes to construct elaborate web structures in which to retreat and feel safe. So it is important that we offer plenty of anchor points for the webbing so that the species can do this. This can be achieved by using things such as branches, cork bark, rocks, etc. I personally like to go for a naturalistic look and try and make an enclosure look as close to the natural environment as possible. However, you can use whatever meets your taste, providing it meets the requirements of the tarantula. The final element, and arguably the most important element of the enclosure build, is of course a source of water. Whilst Socotra Island is a very dry and arid landscape, sources of water would still be available, and in captivity it is vitally important that any tarantula is offered a source of water. You can achieve this by putting a water dish in the enclosure, or if you find that it is regularly getting buried or covered in substrate or even webbed over, you can also choose to spray webbing gently with water on occasion. However, water bowls are necessary until web structures are formed, so I would always recommend adding a water bowl to any tarantula enclosure. I did also mention previously that this species comes from a very warm environment. While this is the case, your captive specimens do not need any additional heat elements such as heat mats, and will do perfectly well without them as long as you don't live in any extreme low temperatures. Overall, the Monocentropus Balfouri is an incredible tarantula to keep, and one I would recommend to any hobbyist who has done their research and feels ready to keep an intermediate species. This is not a species that I would call a true beginner species, however it is by no means an advanced level tarantula. With research and preparation, the Monocentropus Balfouri can be a perfect addition to any collection. So, that was my take on Monocentropus Balfouri and their care and husbandry. I hope you enjoyed this video and I really hope it helps someone out. A huge thank you again to Black Wolf Ebbs for making this series and allowing me to take part. And remember guys, if you have missed any of the previous episodes in this series, please do check them out as they are great ways to learn lots of cool information. Again, thank you to Black Wolf Ebbs and for everyone else who has taken part in this great series. For now guys, I'm done. So I'm Sidex, you guys are awesome. Peace.
So that is the lecture of Balfouri's. Yeah, he's so passionate about Balfouri's, it's ridiculous. He will literally sit and tell you everything he knows. He has actually sat and read research papers on different things. He's sat and researched different compounds for soil and their substrates, and the amount of research papers I've actually seen him read is ridiculous. He is so passionate about Balfouri's and he knows what he's doing. Like, if people have questions about Balfouri's, they come to him. So this is actually Sidex's passion, and he just loves the Balfouri's, as you can tell. So yeah, thank you for doing this for me. And again, if you don't actually know him, I don't know why, but yeah, links will be down below, and go check him out, check his Instagram, do everything. But again, I don't think there's going to be anyone on my channel that doesn't know him. So yeah. So yeah, this video was actually released late. I'm not going to make a habit of this, don't worry. It just sometimes life gets in the way. Yesterday, the day that it was meant to be released, we took the little ones out for the day, and it just got to the point where it was just like, there's no point in trying to rush things. So yeah, but I do release videos every Friday at 7 PM UK time, sometimes on a Saturday. Trying not to make a habit of it, because I do have like quite a few that need editing and ready to be released, so it shouldn't be a habit. But if it's not on a Friday, it will be on a Saturday. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone that comes and watches my videos and actually takes part in like the premieres, or even wants to take part in this. Like, if you do want to take part in series 2, let me know. I'm still taking people in for that one. So yeah, so I will stop rambling now, and I will talk to you in the comments next week. So thank you, and bye bye.